Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Josh and welcome to our next episode on the free SEO course that I'm making for you guys. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about checking your site stats. So one of the things you're going to want to do is always be on top of your site maintenance and statistics. Always keep a good record of things. That's how you're going to succeed in 2020, especially with SEO. So make sure first things first, you have the most up-to-date version of all your plugins if you're using WordPress and up-to-date version of WordPress. Same goes for if you're using any other CMS or content management system. Maybe, I believe Drupal, Joomla, all those others, you have to update them as well, or unless you have automatic updates. But basically, make sure you have an updated version of everything, your platforms and stuff like that, because there's going to be security updates, there's going to be other features and stuff like that. So always make sure your plugins are updated. And if you're using WordPress, update your plugins first and then update WordPress. I've had the unfortunate experiences of updating WordPress first and then I update my plugins and then sites literally crash. I've had a client site crash for a few hours, and thankfully, because I've had a background in web development, I knew what to do. But if you don't have a background in web development, you do not want to deal with that kind of issue. So just trust me when I say update your plugins first and then update WordPress. Next, you're going to want to take a look at your site load time. So to do that, all you're going to do is you're going to go on the site called GT Metrics. You're going to punch in your site. For example, I punched in heatwaveair.com. This is our client, one of our clients out in Arizona. And I basically punched the domain in, and now we have all these statistics. Generally speaking, A is the best you can get. I believe you can get an A+, but page speed score, your slow speed score, just don't worry too much about this or this. This is kind of not important, but basically take a look at your site speed. This is the most important part. So it's 2.5 seconds, which is pretty fast, right? And if we can get it down maybe to 2 seconds, we could probably rank a little higher. Now, that leads me to my next point, which is if you have a site that takes longer to load, it's going to indirectly affect your SEO. Now, it's going to affect what's called a bounce rate, which if you don't really know what that means, go read up on our SEO terminology basics. There's a blog link, it will be in the description below. And basically, it's the rate at which users leave your site. So a higher bounce rate means that more people are just leaving your site when they load, and you want to have a low bounce rate. We can talk all day about what's a good number for that, but just keep in mind that if you have a longer site load time, it's going to increase your bounce rate, which means more people are just going to leave your site. Just think about it. If you have an 8-second load time for your site, not at that point you're just wasting people's time. They're going to click right off and they're going to go to your competitor. So make sure that your site load time is within reason. Anything less than 6 seconds is pretty good. Anything less than 3 seconds is excellent. So we're doing a really good job when it comes to site load time. Now, if you're wondering how you can reduce the site load time, you can basically do a few things. If you have access to the code, you can minify the JavaScript. And now, again, this is kind of very technical, but one of the things that you can do if you are a local business owner interested in reducing your site time is simply have someone, whether it's an agency, you can maybe mention it to your SEO agency or something like that, and tell them to, this is a pretty ugly logo that we had to make, but tell them to reduce these files. For example, this is a pretty big and heavy file, so we could probably reduce this because it's it appears in the background only for a couple seconds because we have a slideshow, so it's probably not the most important image really, but like logos, posters, important things like that I would keep at high quality. But all the other images, if it's a picture of the team, maybe keep it high quality, but then you're going to need more site juice, or you're going to need to upgrade your hosting fees and stuff like that. So if you want to keep things simple, just make sure you're using a JPEG image file. Convert it from a PNG to a JPEG if it's not an important image. And if you don't want to do it yourself, you can go on Fiverr and people will be more than happy to optimize your site speed. Or you can mention it to your SEO agency if you are looking to hire, right? Basically, you want to make sure your site is within reason, it loads fast, and it is not technically a ranking factor, but some people have tested, that it is, or attested that it is, and some people say that it's not. I personally think that it's more of a marketing factor, meaning you want to make sure your site looks clean, you want to make sure that it runs fast, and that if it takes too long you got to fix that because it's going to lower the user experience. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to go on Ubersuggest, and you're going to basically type in your domain. Go to neilpatel.com, and you can analyze your site for free. You can log in with your email to get some more access, and that's pretty much it. Yes, you're going to get emails from Neil Patel, but to be completely honest, I like his emails. They're not so annoying, and he does a great job at marketing, and he has a lot of wonderful tools, so I think, it's worth supporting him for just an email, right? So what you're going to want to do is once you have put your domain in, you can go on to something like Ubersuggest and take a look at your top keywords. Now, if you don't know what your top keywords are, you can go and, again, type in your domain, and I believe, I'm not entirely sure what this analyzer is, if it's different than Ubersuggest, but basically, you'll get this dashboard when you type it in on Ubersuggest. You'll get the 240 keywords, or you might get something different, but you'll get the organic keywords, organic monthly traffic, domain score, and backlinks. So your organic keywords are how many keywords you're ranking for on Google. Organic monthly traffic is how many estimated users you're going to get every single month. Domain scores, how authoritative your site is on a scale of 1 to 100. Again, almost all of this is going to be in our, it pretty much is in our SEO terminology basics. So go check that out again. And backlinks, how many links are pointing to your site. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is doing, but basically, you're going to take a look then at your SEO keywords, and you're going to take a look at what you're already ranking for. So as you can see, we're ranking for emergency AC repair Tucson, and this is accurate. If you look up emergency AC repair Tucson, you'll see our client is listed over here. And basically, from there, you can take a look. We're ranking for a heat pump repair Tucson, so I'm not actually sure about that. I believe we went down in the rankings. Oh, actually, so it is still there. So this is a pretty accurate tool. It's not the most accurate. There are more accurate tools. Obviously, at our agency, for example, we use tools like Ahrefs for our clients and for our own sites. And you can basically use Ubersuggest though if you're kind of on a budget or if you're looking to just dabble in SEO, right? And you can take a look at all the keywords that you're ranking for. As you can see, we're ranking for AC repair in Tucson. We're pretty far in the positions and stuff like that. So again, you want to just take a look at what you're already ranking for. And I'm not entirely sure yet. That was kind of a waste of time. But basically, if you then look at site audit, you'll get stuff like, there's critical errors. So it says that we don't have a sitemap. And I actually don't agree with this tool because we do have a sitemap. But again, you should take this with a somewhat more than just a grain of salt. It is a good indicator of where you're at, and it is going to definitely help you. But that being said, again, it's not a paid tool, so it's not going to be the most effective and the most helpful tool, but it's definitely going to be better than nothing. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take a look at your word count. So, for example, heatwaveair.com, word counter. You're going to go to wordcounter.net. You're just going to type in website word count, or you can just look at more tools and you'll see website page counter. Just count the number of pages that you have on your site. For some reason, it doesn't want to do this here. Okay, so we have about 1,100 pages on Heatwave Air. Now, if we want to rank for something like AC Repair Tucson, this is a pretty big site that's ranking for a lot of keywords. What we would do is we would take a look at the competition, right? And we see that they only have 400 words. So maybe we're over optimizing. And again, you want to just take a look at, what your competitors are already ranking for, what you're ranking for, and how many words do you have versus them. So if they only have 400 words, that probably means we need to do either more content and more internal linking, or it means that we need to get some backlinks. Now, what are backlinks again? They're just links that are pointing to your site. So maybe we've got backlinks that aren't relevant, like, maybe this site has. So we'll just click out over there. But this is going to be very helpful when it comes to getting content ideas, so word count ideas. So if the top pages are, let's say, for example, have 2,000 words and we only have 1,100 words, it tells us that we need more word and we need more content. And the next thing you're going to also want to check is your image count. So you want to look at how many images you have, and you can keep track all of this in like an Excel sheet. So we might put in, for example, our URL, WCIC, backlinks, if you can measure that for individual pages, right? Let's say you have the tools. I believe Ubersuggest allows you to do that as well. Basically, this is going to be our site, right? Our word count is 1,100, and I see our image count. What you can do for this, there's a couple of ways that you can check it. This is going to be a little bit complicated, so just bear with me, and I'm going to show you step by step what you're going to do. So once you're on your site, you're going to right click anywhere, and you're going to click View Page Source. Next, you're going to hit Control F, or you're going to hit Command F, or whatever command is, whatever keybinds that bring up the search tool. And basically, you're going to type in the less than symbol, IMG, and that's it. So it's going to give you all the images. So you'll see we have 10 images over here. It says 1 of 10. The 10 is how many total images you have. So we have 10 total images. How many backlinks do we have? We have 678 backlinks. And you're just going to take an inventory of all of this on your site. Now, again, this is kind of what SEO agencies do. This is what we do for our clients. But if you're doing this on your own and you maybe have only a couple bucks to spare, you can have someone do these tasks for you as well if you don't want to hire a full agency. But basically, just take inventory of everything on your site and then compare it to your competitors, because you can do the same thing with your competitors. Again, you can go on, for example, Hamster HVAC. They're a pretty big HVAC company in Arizona. And so what we would do is we would take a look at their image count. Seems like they got a completely new site revamp, actually. That's pretty interesting. But take a look at how many images they have. As you can see, they have 21 images on their homepage. So what does this indicate to me? Well, it means that I need to call my client and I need to say, hey, your competitor that's outranking you in a lot of places has 21 images on their homepage. We only have 10. Let's see if we can get 11 more. So I hope this video makes sense. And again, you can do the same thing with word count and take an inventory of their statistics and their site load time. So our site load time, again, load time was 2.5 seconds. If theirs is less, it gives us an idea of what we need to do. So this is why doing on-page, inventory and maintenance and stuff is super important. So with that being said, I hope you guys are staying safe and staying healthy, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.